I'm very impressed that you're all here on a warm, sunny evening, summer's evening. So Mick's saying he's being invaded by flies too. Yes, there's definitely been an increase in flies recently, which I imagine is the weather. And then, oh, that's nice. Rebecca's just saying hi, Lizzie. And Kalpana, hello everyone. Hello Vidyamala. Hello Mark. Nice to be here with you all. That's nice, Kalpana. So yes, there we have the lovely Mark, our ever omnipresent tech support person. Such a generous human you are, Mark. Really wonderful to have you week after week here. Oh yes, you're giving yourself hearts. That's very, very good. Penny saying hi from London and good to see you, Vidyamala and Mark. Good to see you too, Penny. Yeah. So I'm very, very impressed that 71 of us are choosing to do this indoor activity on such a beautiful summer's evening. So thank you all so much for coming. Oh, we've got Cynthia from the Pacific Northwest in the US. Lovely. Good. So I think we'll begin now. Um, so very, very warm welcome, everybody, and welcome back to old friends. I can see there's many of you who've been coming to Space to Breathe for ages, which is wonderful. And if there's any new people here tonight, then a special warm welcome to you. And just to say that this half hour is very much what it says in the title. It's a space to breathe, space to step out of our busy lives, connect with the body, connect with the heart, connect with the mind, and connect with this wonderful community. So the first thing to do is to check in on our physical position, check in on our physical posture. So you want to be in a position where your body will be as comfortable as possible and yet alert. So those are pretty much the criteria, as comfortable as possible and yet alert. And many of us have got habits where we just kind of slump into a chair, think, well, that'll do. But it might be that you can be more comfortable by just taking a little bit of time to um, sort out your chair. I can see Robert's there sorting out all his cushions, which is very good. Excellent. And I always say to people to be fussy. There are many of us here will have some kind of physical discomfort. And I always say there's no point going looking for more by simply not spending this little bit of time checking in on our position. So if we're sitting, having a chair where we'll be supported without slouching, ideally. If we're lying down, having a pillow or cushion under your head where your neck's not tipping forwards or backwards. So that's what you're looking for if you're lying down. Having your hands supported somehow or other. If you're sitting, you can have your hands on your legs, in your lap. You can wrap something around your waist if you want to. That might be a bit too warm for that for most of us. If you're lying down, you can have your hands either resting on the body or at the sides of the body, palms upwards. Again, that's completely up to you. Good. And then beginning to settle into this position. And I've decided tonight to do a compassionate acceptance meditation. This is, I think, a very important meditation where we're learning to be with discomfort in a helpful way. So some of us here will have physical discomfort. Some of us might have more emotional discomfort. Some of us might have no discomfort at all, in which case I would suggest you spend the next 30 minutes enjoying the absence of discomfort because that's a wonderful thing. But you will have discomfort at one point or another because that comes with the human condition. And in the compassionate acceptance practice, we're learning how to find a middle way between suppression, like pushing away discomfort, which just leads to lots of tension, or overwhelm, which is where we kind of fall into the discomfort, and that's the only thing there is. And of course, if we think about our awareness in any moment, there's lots and lots of things happening. So there might be discomfort, but there'll also be, I can look out the window now and it's very, very beautiful. I can feel the cool breeze on my skin. There's parts of my body that aren't hurting. So to move out of overwhelm, what we do is we broaden our awareness. And if we're feeling resistant and avoidant and denying, which is you've got a brittle, tight quality, if we're doing that, we soften and we come a little closer to the actual experience. So this is what we'll be doing in the practice. I'll be guiding it so you don't remember a single thing I just said. And we'll be using the breath to soften the breath, soften towards our experience, and we'll be bringing kindliness to our experience. Now, someone's just started watering the plants right outside my door. Can you hear that? No, the Zoom filters are unbelievably good. Can you hear my voice though?
We can hear your voice fine, Vidyamala.
Amazing. So you can hear my voice, but you can't hear the hose.
No, no host sound at all.
Oh, excellent. There's so few things in life that work as perfectly as the Zoom filter. Let's enjoy that. Okay, so let's begin by just settling into our position. Closing the eyes if you would like to, or lowering the gaze. And allowing the weight of the body to yield down into the position that we've chosen. So we're sitting on a chair, having a sense of the buttocks resting into the chair, the feet into the floor. If we're lying down, having a sense of the back of the body resting into the bed and the head resting into the pillow or the cushion. So there's this quality of arriving into the meditation, into the body, into the moment. And many of us are probably bringing some tension with us. Maybe we're still a little bit hooked into something that's just been happening, or we're hooked into what's going to happen next. So to help us unhook and arrive a little bit more into presence, if you want to, you could take a few deeper breaths. So breathing in freshness and newness of this moment, and on the out breath, releasing a little bit, letting go a little bit more. When you've done it a few times, allowing your breathing to find its own natural rhythm. No need to alter the breath, just letting the breath be however it is right now for you. Breathing in freshness and letting go with the out breath. And let's tune in to a general sense of how we are right now as we arrive. So having a felt sense of the whole body. Resting here, the weight of the body, the shape of the body in space, and a general sense of sensations in the whole body. And tuning into our emotional weather. How are we feeling right now? And letting go of ideas of how we ought to feel or how we would like to feel. and coming closer to what's actually happening moment by moment. Greeting it with warmth and tenderness and kindness towards ourselves. It might be positive feelings, might be confusion, might be dullness, might be excitement, might be a whole mixture. Just allowing it into this kindly field of awareness. And what thoughts are flowing through the mind? Usually we're completely identified with our thoughts, kind of fused with our thoughts. What's it like to step away from that a little bit and let the thoughts come and go and come and go like clouds passing across the sky? Excuse me. Broadening to include everything, how we're feeling in the body, emotionally, mentally. Having a sense of arriving into this rich experience of present moment embodied awareness. All held within kindliness and warmth towards ourselves. And now scanning through our awareness and noticing where resistance is showing up. If it's there. If it's not there, then enjoying the absence of resistance. But many of us will have some sort of discomfort going on. And we'll know that through this felt sense of resistance, maybe tightness in some part of the body that's hurting. It's more emotional, then seeing if where the echo of that is in the body. Again, there might be some tightness or tension. It's this edge of the not wanting mind that creates hardness, brittleness, tension. If you find anywhere, then very, very gently allow your awareness to rest there very lightly. Maybe breathe into the resistance on the in-breath, a loving breath, and softening a little bit with the out-breath. Maybe behind the resistance, there's some sensations that are unpleasant. And seeing if we can let these come and go and come and go and feel into their changing nature. All the time yielding the body up to gravity. And if at any point you start tipping into overwhelm, then you can choose to broaden awareness. It's a little bit like pulling back to a wide-angle lens of awareness, being aware of the whole body, parts of the body that aren't hurting, being aware of sounds and smell. So the discomfort's taking place in a big, broad field. And then if you notice avoidance is arising again, resistance, blocking quality, tension. And in the noticing, you can choose to come a little closer. Always giving the body up to gravity. So we're really learning how to calibrate with our awareness to find a middle way between denial on the one hand and overwhelm on the other. Just letting the unpleasant be there as part of the fabric of experience, moment by moment. And seeing if we can relate to it the way we would naturally relate to a loved one having this experience. Tenderness and kindliness, maybe softness. Always breathing, always settling. It might be that you're kind of seesawing between these two responses, pulling away, blocking, coming closer, overwhelm, broadening, pulling away, coming closer, overwhelm, broadening. It might be that it's happening quite quickly like that, or it might be very, very subtle. The main thing is we're cultivating this incredible quality of courage and resilience and balance and kindliness in this practice. We can learn to meet whatever shows up in the moment with this great quality of honesty and openness, stability and balance. Exceptional training for life. If you keep on losing track of the practice, then without any judgment, knowing that the moment you notice you're lost, you're not lost anymore. You're present. And you can choose to come back inside the body, inside the practice, again and again. It might be that you've got many places of resistance in your experience. You feel you've explored one area, maybe found a bit more balance, you could move on to another area. Think of our whole stance can be embodied, present, coming right inside. Not looking at ourselves with a bird's eye view, we're resting right inside experience, inside the body. Very intimate, caring, and kindly. Feeling into our own courage. Now let's get curious about the quality of awareness that's present when we soften these twin impulses of either sort of tightness of avoidance, or the tightness of overwhelm. We come out of those for even the briefest moment. There's the presence of spaciousness, the presence of openness, presence of love. It's very, very interesting to explore both the absence of gripping, resistance, but also what arises in its place. And what arises in its place is openness and awareness, aliveness, softness, kind of an innate quality of kindly awareness. So tasting that as well and resting there. You might be finding you get lost in resistance. You wake up, you come closer, have a little taste of the beauty of presence, openness. Then you're lost again, catch it, you come back, little taste, overwhelm, broaden, little taste of openness. This is the training and this is the practice. The beautiful line from the poet Rumi, who says, "The patience of a rose close to a thorn keeps it fragrant." The patience of a rose close to a thorn keeps it fragrant. He's very, very good on this balance of the inevitable difficulties of life and the patient beauty that can arise when we learn to be with that. The final few minutes, what I suggest we do is completely let go of any effort whatsoever and move into what's called the just sitting practice if we're sitting, or the just lying practice if we're lying down. Where there's absolutely nothing to do, no one to be. And we learn how to simply rest and experience. Rest the mind. And quite an active practice. So now let's just rest in being for a few moments. The patience of a rose close to a thorn keeps it fragrant. When we're ready, we can begin to come out of the formal meditation, but keep this quality of awareness going. Bringing a tiny bit of movement into the body, first of all. Notice what arises as we begin to move. It might be discomfort, might be quality of rushing and gripping. And seeing if we can keep the movement soft, keep our awareness soft. In our own time, coming into bigger movements, opening the eyes when we're ready. Thank you all very much, everyone, for coming. Really wonderful to practice with you. And I always stay on for a little bit at the end. No one wants to stay with me, and you can just write what happened for you in the chat box. That's always very, very interesting. And we learn from one another. I always read them out because we have people here who can't, some people can't always engage with the chat box for various reasons. If you want to slip away, then by all means do so. Look forward to seeing you next week. And yeah, thank you all so much for this shared practice together. Thank you, Mark, as always. Good. Oh, Nikki, thank you. That was very needed after my first chemo session today. So very sorry to hear that you're having chemo, but yeah, very timely maybe. You could perhaps take this kind of practice into your treatment, which will, I think, possibly involve discomfort, perhaps inevitably involve discomfort. So to find that interesting middle way between pulling away from it, tensing, or falling into it and being overwhelmed. And I think, to be honest, probably what most of us do is we don't find the sweet spot in the middle, but we catch ourselves either pulling away, resisting, or losing our perspective and falling in. And so then the practice is to calibrate, to keep on calibrating. So it's a beautiful skill for life. So really wishing you all the very, very best for your chemo. So lots of thank yous. Carmel, lovely practice. Love the moment, nothing to do, nowhere to be, just be. Yeah. And it's also no one to be. That's a blessed relief. We let go of having to be someone. So nothing to do, nowhere to be, no one to be. And so I'm feeling much calmer now. Michelle, sense of being really held by gravity and spaciousness. Thanks all. And Helen, feeling a lot calmer now after a hectic day. Meg, thank you, Vidyamala Mark, for a lovely calming session. See, I'm finding these comments very interesting because that's actually, that's quite a demanding practice because we're learning how to sort of come into relationship with that aspect of our experience we'd really probably rather not be in relationship with. But a lot of people are talking about calmness. So I find that very inspiring, and we can learn from that by being willing to stop fighting, stop resisting, pulling away, we actually cultivate calm, which is wonderful. Mm. And then Maureen, thank you so much. I've had migraines all week, and this has really helped. I'm sorry about the migraines, Maureen, but I'm glad that it's really helped. It's wonderful. And Jenny, there was a lot going on in my body today, so I had to rest on the sound of a pigeon outside instead. It helped ease the pressure a bit. Yeah, very, very good. A lot going on in my body, so I had to rest on the sound of a pigeon outside instead. It helped ease the pressure. Yeah, that's an example of choosing to go sort of wide angle and rest on another sense rather than being overwhelmed by the body. And Kalpna, thank you so much. Beautiful meditation. And thank you, dear Mark. That's nice. Dear Mark, you were always there to help us. You are always there to help us, Mark. Amazing. And Kathy, I learned for the first time that I could apply this practice to emotions rather than just to physical feelings. Thank you. Yes. Yes, definitely. It applies to emotions exactly the same way. And Penny, thank you. I noticed I felt comfortable. I saw a physio and I went with beginner's mind and she really loosened me up. I didn't expect her to help. Yeah, wonderful, Penny. Isn't it interesting how we can, go to a professional like a physio and have a view is not going to help. And then having the view is not going to help means that it doesn't help or it doesn't help as much. But you went with beginner's mind and she really loosened you up. Fantastic. And Karen, thank you everyone so much in this meditation. And then at the end, I had a sense of fragrance and being alive. So beautiful. I hope to stay aware and not try to grip that feeling. Yes, no one to be sounds good. Yeah, I love that. Rumi's excellent on this juxtaposition of like the beauty of the rose and the thorn. A rose has a thorn, so it's not like all life isn't all beauty or all thorns, but how can we find that way that we can relate to both skillfully? And then, Karen, you're talking about trying not to grip onto that feeling of being more aware, because that's what we do as well. It's like, oh, it's really lovely, and then we hold on to that and just create more tension. So we just enjoy it and let it go. And Regula, thank you. Diving into the silence and calm and slowliness is such a great help. That's very good. Slowliness. I've never heard that word. Very good. Wonderful word. And Bridget, feeling overwhelmed at the moment is have a very ill parent and have been holding it in to support my mum. So thanks for making me stop and feel it. Yeah, very, very good, Bridget. And well done for coming in the midst of all that. So I didn't make you stop, you chose to stop. And then to feel it, to feel the overwhelm. And then you've got this skill of thinking, oh, this is overwhelm. How can I broaden? Rather than just bracing against it. So Sharon, thank you so much. The quality of awareness is so important. My consultant has prescribed an antidepressant to